Hi guys, Brendan Erdy from Tech Review by Erdy. It's February 21st, 2018. Now, in this vlog here, I'm going to go over a few things that occurred last night during demonetization of these small guy channels that are out there for YouTube. There's a lot of confusion going on. I've been hit up with messages like crazy last night, and I just started reviewing through them. And I want to answer a few things for some folks out there. Okay. One of the things that happened is that the new bar for monetization occurred, and that is 1,000 subscriber limitation must be met first, and that's lifetime. And also the other thing that occurred that a lot of people are forgetting is you need 4,000 hours of viewing time in a 12-month period. Now, some of the questions coming back to me last night were, what does that mean exactly time limit-wise? Is it the last 12 months? Is that a fiscal year? Yes, it is actually 12 months. I've got my answer back already from analytics about that. And even if I reached 1,000 subscribers, first of all, let's put this out there. I'm going to show you my analytics. I have over 340-some thousand views on my channel. And a lot of my videos, my average time can run anywhere from a minute 28 to say 21 minutes of viewing. It depends. It all comes down to an average, what my average is, and I'm going to show you something here real quickly here. Because even if I reach 1,000 subscribers, I still cannot get monetized because I am under the threshold of viewing time. And I do get a lot of views on my channel. That's not the problem. The subscriber base is different. And when you subscribe, just by subscribing to somebody, it doesn't count. Okay? I'm going to repeat that. It does not just count. Matter of fact, it takes almost 24 hours before analytics picks up that subscriber, even though you might see a ding up there. For instance, you're going to see here in a minute, 387 views right. Oh, it's hard to... Anyways, 387 subscribers right now on my channel, and that last one subscribed as of yesterday morning, and it didn't count until today because it was waiting for them to view my minimum average of viewing time on one video. So say you go into somebody and you subscribe to them and they get dinged for it and they get notified, and they go in and check you out, and then you subscribe back to them. All these little channels that are going back and forth right now are subscribing to each other. They're still not going to hit the analytical level that they need to be monetized. And now, it's a good process, so don't let me discourage you at all from doing that, because you're getting one of a few items that has to make it before you can get monetized. The other thing that is occurring is that some folks don't realize 4,000 hours is a lot of viewing time. It's almost like a network television show. So let's bring this up real quick. I'm going to shorten my size here. Okay. I'm going to bring you up into the corner, and we're going to get to the analytics here. Just be patient with me for a moment. And here, I'm going to bring that back so you can see this here. If you look right here, you're going to see 342,613 views on my channel since the start. And yes, those count as views, but not viewing hours. So let's go ahead and check that out, and I'll get into analytics here. I'm going to bring myself a little shorter just so you can see more. And we're going to do this by 12 months. Okay, so let's get down here to not this year, not last year. The last 365 days is what you want to move on. Now, if you look at this chart here, I'm going to show you the watch minutes. 185,953. Let's break that down. Okay, so we're going to ask Google real quick. Let me bring that back here so I got that number again. 185.93, 189.583 minutes equals question mark hours. Okay, that's from the last 12 months. that only gives me 3,159 minutes. Now, the majority of my videos started just over a year ago. My original videos for my Dodge Charger and whatnot got the biggest hits, and they started coming in, and it was a realization that I was making some AdSense money, and it took pretty much 3 years to get the first dollar, hitting 77,000 views on one of my videos. Okay, and last year I only made $200 exactly. I only got hit twice on my level, which was I asked AdSense to supply my bank account with the money when I hit $100. Now, here's another thing that occurs. If your ads have, say, copyright infringement or copyright issues and they still allow it, say they allow it, say there's a song in there and a recording company picked up that song that might have been over 25 years old, finally. Joan Jett and Blackhearts, for instance, was in the background of one of my videos. It was in a bar scene for a band that was playing. I got dinged right off the bat from Germany. There was a recording studio in Germany that picked up the rights for that song, which was non-copyrighted at that point, and it was monetizable and everything, even by Google's standards, and that song was out there. That song was also mixed. Okay, so it wasn't the original artist's recording, but it did have the intellectual property from Joan Jett and Blackhearts, and it got dinged because the mixing company from Germany decided, hey, we're buying it, and they picked it up. Okay, you're going to experience this a lot with a lot of songs out there, and even though you might find it in YouTube channel for demonetized or monetized songs that are allowable or whatever it might be, you can still get dinged by analytics, and then you kind of have to fight for it, and then you're losing the viewing ad time during that time. You will see right here that many hours, that many minutes, 189,583 minutes does not hit the tier yet. So even if I had 1,000 subscribers yesterday and applied for a monetization partnership again, this part right here does not allow it. The other problem is if the subscriber does not say subscribe to you within that time period, which occurs a lot. Okay, we had subscribers that were jumping in and saying, I'll subscribe to you, you subscribe to me. They were doing it for about a week or so like that, and then they pulled out. That also hurts you. That takes it back. And not only does it take it back, it puts a negativity on subscriber retention. So I also discovered by emailing them about that question. So what happens if your subscriber pulls back out and you don't have that subscription? Well, that counts against the 30 days, the minimum of 30 days of review. Okay, so what they're really trying to do, and if you've seen the Casey Neistat videos already with the interview that I posted up, and if you watch the whole interview, the YouTube CEO for marketing and business talks about that in there. It's not YouTube doing that, okay? And it's not just the ad companies doing that. They, on YouTube side, they are trying to look out for freedom of speech and all that stuff, and they really are trying to back the YouTubers, even the small channels, but they're at heads with the advertising companies. So say Budweiser comes up, or Geico comes up, and they reach out to Geico to do some reviewing as well for that ad. It could take a few days before Geico even gets back there because it's not their primary concern. They're just, it's an extra ad capability for them. Okay, so watch the video and you'll see what I'm talking about. But with that in mind too, it's going to be very, very difficult to have the reviews approve a lot of these channels that are just jumping into subscribers. Now, I also have a friend of mine that was at 1,800 subscribers, and he was solid and he's good, and then all of a sudden he got demonetized yesterday, and he's asking me, what the hell happened? It's YouTube's fault, or what are they doing to me? And I said, listen, you need to go back through your analytics and check your hours for 12 months of viewing, and you got to retain that. So another thing that's occurring is viewing time averages. So let's bring that up too. We'll bring up analytics here, and as you can see in real time, I'm going to show you real time what's going on right now. I don't mind. This is all, I'm not monetized anymore, so I can care less. But I want you guys to see. So they also look at peak retention. So we got 31 views there, 19 views there. As we're going through the last 48 hours, 18 views. And then that also is going to determine what type of advertising gets sunk into your video. That could be Geico at this hour. Okay? We're just going to use Geico in this situation here because it's easy. It's so easy that a caveman can do it. So Geico might advertise you at 12 o'clock in your videos at 12 p.m., let's say the middle of the afternoon. Their ad revenue money will be higher at a peak time than it will at, say, 11 o'clock at night, or vice versa. It depends on what their best interest is. So they, per se, want to advertise to the biggest audience during a peak time viewing stage, and say the ad might have given you 3 cents. Oh, it's not that big. Trust me. Or 18 cents. That could be the biggest difference. So maybe at 12 p.m., they're going to give you 18 cents. Okay, if that user clicked on the ad and retained that ad, not just clicking on it, retained that ad for a longer period of time, as opposed to the average of view minutes for that ad at that peak time on your channel, and it works with the total hours that you're watching. So now we're dwindling away more and more and more. You might even see a smaller chunk. Say everything was exactly right in the universe from 2 days ago than it is now. You will now have lesser ad revenue coming in. So you have to work harder. And I don't want to deter anybody again like that, but if you love doing YouTube videos, which I do because my passion is actually editing, and I haven't really gotten into that. I have some side projects that I have not put up on YouTube basically for copyright issues. And you still will get dinged for copyright issues. The other day, for instance, I had a video on there for 2011 Dodge Charger Rally. Okay, one of the issues that I had was I used a song originally allowable. That song track came from the movie Saw, the first movie Saw, and it was orchestrate. It was an orchestra song that was put into it. Originally, a couple years ago, I got dinged for it. I immediately was accepted as of the owner for that soundtrack, and nothing occurred after that. They allowed it. They were great. No problem. It's actually getting their soundtrack out there. As the new Saw movies came out, they still use that. But the problem is now that movie has become very popular, and that series has become very popular. They came back at me just about a week ago and said, we're going to take some of your money. Okay? We know how that works. But when I looked at my AdSense, my payout for the last few months would be $105. And I'm still waiting to see what happens there. When I went into analytics and did a couple calculations, and it was hard to figure this one out. I didn't know what was going on. I seen the next day, they pulled $35 out. One advertiser pulled $35 out of my AdSense because they went after the juggler. I tried to re-edit it really quickly, and it just did not work because the editing feature took almost half a day before it got to there. And once the analytics picked it up and okayed it, that $35 was gone. So even though that's supposed to occur like after 30 days and all that stuff, us small channels are seeing the end of that yesterday. So my whole $105 just became $80 or $70. And some of that ad revenue was not primarily on that channel, but that is what the advertiser, or not the advertiser, the copyright infringement issue requested for their ad build up over the entire video's history. Okay, so they went back in and checked everything out and the views and all that stuff. But anyways, so that there you go. that's going to be a big issue too. So it's very complex. And again, I don't want to deter anybody from making videos and all that, but what they're really looking for, and this came straight from the horse's mouth from YouTube Business, was quality entertainment. If you remember my last vlog that I did, and seeing that interview really quick with Casey Neistat, and the CEO for the business side of YouTube, he did state, like, he asked him, what do you like to see? He likes to see a lot of news tickers. But a lot of it's going to be mirrored off of regular television. And YouTube just pumped up their TV side revenue business. And I applied for it just to see what it was like. And it's okay. It's not bad. It's just like Netflix or anything like that. But here's the thing. I tried it out for a moment, and then I got hit up for a bill for $35. And I think that is kind of disgusting that you have to pay $35 a month for that entertainment. Now, everybody's probably going to go, well, if that's the TV you want. Here's the thing. I worked for Dish Network for a while. I actually owned a business and was a partner with Dish Network and DirecTV. I did both. And I worked in Dish Network prior to that, before opening up my own business. Let's just say for $26.95, you can get satellite broadcast TV that might not be manipulative the same way you do with YouTube or Netflix and all that, but they have the same kind of basic package. So why go with something like that? I think everybody's trying to jump in on the entertainment side of this, and their pricing structure is horrible. So go with Netflix then, $10.99. Here's the thing. I have Roku built on my TV and a box upstairs, and they actually have free Roku television for right now. So they don't ask for a charge for anything. I've got some old TV, I got some new TV. I got movies in there that are free, and I just go right to Roku's streaming side app and watch TV there for free without interruption. I had no problems. So far there's no ads on it because they don't need it. It's all older stuff, but still they don't need it. And newer stuff. I was watching a movie that was just released last year on Roku for free. So I thought that was pretty neat. Now, the way the industry used to work is planes, trains, and automobiles sort of thing. Let's go with HBO. HBO came in and taught us one thing at Dish Network. That was like, hey, we release a movie, for instance. Say Paramount comes out with a movie. And a few months later, this has now gotten squashed down, and the time lapse has shrunk compared to what it used to be, say, in 2004 or 5. And I worked there from 99 on and had a business for a while before I went in the military. But HBO would tell us, okay, a Paramount movie gets released, right? And then the next step is, and they were asking us, they were trying to say, where do you see the movie next time? Now, this is before a lot of online capability and stuff like that for viewing enrichment and media enrichment. We release it to a movie theater. Movie theater gets first dibs. Okay. The next step is planes. Plane viewing is very big with the movie industry back in the late 90s and early 2000s, because those companies that, say, TWA at the time, would pay for those on-flight movies. And in first class or something like that, you're watching a movie, and you don't realize that, oh, it's free for you, right? And there's a small chunk that goes into buying your ticket that goes towards that moviegoers association or whatever it is for that movie. Everybody needs a piece of the pie because they're putting out a product. They're investing, and they want their investment back. Rightfully so. The next step after that was they would release it to either DVD. This is where automobiles occur. Now, automobile meaning moving. The movie can be picked up at a local Blockbusters, for instance. So, planes, trains, automobile. The train part, don't worry about that. But anyways, so we'll go back to this. they would send it to Blockbusters. Now, I didn't want to work in a Blockbusters or anything like that, but I was affiliated with somebody that did work in they had their own little video store for a while. Let's go back to like the movie Clerks. And they go and order 5 movies. That might cost them $12,000 to buy those 5 copies to put on their shelf. And this is another reason why a lot of those companies went out of business, because the investment was so high. The bar was so high that they would have to spend a lot of money to buy copies to put on their shelf, and then you rent it, and that's how they get their revenue back. And then obviously at the very tail end, people weren't returning movies and so forth, and they were out that Monday, and then all of a sudden 5 years down the road, you got a letter through the mail from some law firm saying that you never returned a movie and you owe $316 or $1,200 and some dollars, and people were like, screw this, and it got on their credit report. That did occur too. That occurred with a lot of folks, and they don't realize why. Because they stole a hard copy original from, like, Blockbusters, per se. Well, it goes hand in hand. There's a new way in the Wild West of online media that is definitely circulating around from main advertisers. If you put a snippet in there from Star Wars, for instance, you're going to start seeing companies go after you for that individual snippet as a piece of pie before you can re-edit certain things, like what we see Pittsburgh Penguins. I put down in my liked videos because it's just a liked video. Now, if I take that chunk out and actually video edit that, you will succumb to having to owe the Pittsburgh Penguins organization or the NHL for that rebroadcast. It's not there yet, but it's being discussed. Same with NFL. NFL's really big about this. You cannot re-televise another game or something like that, but people get by it by putting a TV show or a game that might be broadcast on TV, and they skew it, or they crop it down so you can't see the ticker down there from like NBC per se. But their analytics are going to get so good that if you have a snippet from another video that was not yours, that you did not create as the base media, you're going to get hit up with a copyright infringement, or you're going to have to owe them money. And what is even worse is they're discussing that they might not just copyright infringe you, but they might ask you to pay for it out of your own pocket. Okay, and they'll send your system a bill like PayPal or something like that, or tie it into your bank account. So, buyer beware, and video editors very well beware. That could happen very shortly within the next 12 months. We don't know. We don't know. And I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying that I'm out there constantly on forums on the other side of the things that I do to let you know that the creator side of things is slowly going away. They're going to tighten the reins on this big time. And it's not YouTube doing it. Okay, YouTube's just a platform medium to put out entertainment. Okay, freedom of speech and all that stuff just doesn't work the way of the creator, but it's also working the way of the small creator. It's working the way of the major production companies too, because they've been hurting a lot since a lot of online streaming has been occurring. Not only that, but pirators. Okay, pirators is a big issue with them, and always has been. Just like from the Napster days, they're going to get nasty soon. So you take a snippet from a movie that you might have downloaded or streamed, and then you take, say, this, like OBS is watching you on this desktop and can view it. That's going to occur too. So there's a lot of things to start considering as a YouTuber, that your P's and Q's have to be watched a lot more now. Even if you apply right now for 30 days, they're so backed up, they say it could take 60 to 90 on manual reviews to get you back in as a partner. If you watching my analytics right now, 760 views. So this is peak time for here, 9:36. Now if I go in here, I can change this out and show you the demographics. And we'll get to that real quick here. Here's my demographics. Male, female. Obviously, I have more male viewers because of the subject material that I put out there. But I have a lot of female viewers also because there's family-friendly stuff. And we're talking about moms. But also, let's reverse that. As in a professional role today, there's a lot of females that are in the professional side of things, from cars to RC, so forth and so forth. It's a different time now, and that's great. I love that. That's awesome, because even my wife, she likes to get involved a little bit, but she also has some complaints about me doing some stuff. So let's look at audience retention. But here, I'm going to speak about this real quick here. So as we get down to this section here, oops, let me bring that back up. You're going to see things like, right now my main viewers are 55 to 64 on the higher low side of percentages, but if we go up onto 29%, my 25 to 34 year olds, my millennials out there. Okay, so my target base is millennials at the moment, if not pre-millennials. If you go to 18 to 24, or I mean, sorry, reverse that back, 35 to 44 years old. I'm 45, so I'm not a millennial age group. My wife is, and she hates that, being called a millennial, because she's on the cusp by that year, and she's like, I'm not defined as a millennial. I think that's kind of funny. But I was like, yes, you're not. Yeah, I understand. You go out and hustle a different way and all that. And she has different values and whatnot. She's grown up into a different world than the per se definition of social media as millennial. I can care less. But Generation X, Generation Y, I think I would say that she would be in the Y area more than anything when it comes to attitude. Again, let's not label them that way. But for this conversation today, let's look at the demographics. I have to look at that demographics and supply that type of media entertainment to them. And the retention rate is pretty high on the male side. I have 89% retention rate for males, 11% for females. Now, if I go up to a larger area, 13 to 17%, that's where you're going to see videos from my kids. Okay, so I've got 2 daughters, and one likes to play Roblox and all that, and as a family father, I like to get them involved. So I had a very nasty email the other day from a viewer that said, why are you doing that? You're just trying to get the biggest bang for the buck. I was like, no, first of all, I can care less about that. My daughters love YouTube, and I try to monitor everything they do. Matter of fact, I have on Netflix a kids version of stuff for watching and an adult stuff version profile for watching. On YouTube, I have kids tube for them to watch, and I have YouTube for us, like me and my wife and my son, to watch. Now, with that in mind, that's why I have one channel. Okay, because really, I can only deal with one channel. I don't have a team of people sitting here watching an analytics between 4 channels. That's just insane. So I being a startup YouTuber and even though it's been out there for 8 years, I've really only been doing stuff for 5 years, and in the last year and a half I've been really watching and paying attention to this. Demographics is key, because if you're failing on getting subscribers and viewers, that's one of the problems, and that's where I've had a problem. I had just cars, then RC. Not everybody likes that. Interesting and cool things, for instance, on my channel. I can't really categorize it as this or that, so I kind of put it up there for like bands and crazy stuff or whatnot, or even my vlogs now. So would you go to a car channel to see a vlog about RC drones? No. That's why I have a specific vlog channel to discuss these topics. And this video is actually going to run for a while. I have no problem with that, and I'll put that up, you know, almost unedited. I'll take a couple key things out of here. But let's go back to the analytics here. And I'm going to have a part 2 of this a little later, just so I can compare and contrast what's going on. That's why I didn't do a vlog this morning, because I wanted to get past the February 20th deadline. Or I should say this week. So here we go. Let's go to audience retention. Okay. Wait for it to come up. My audience retention numbers are over the place. Now, if I go by watch time minutes, my 2001 Jeep Grand Cherokee, I did an oil pressure setting unit back in November or somewhere around there. And that's a how-to or a help section, but it's in my Cars and Go Fast. That has like one of the largest minutes of retention time because there's some steps to go through to finish that up. Anyways, so I have my Dodge Charger that I had 2011 that had electrical issues. But watch this. So you see the watch time in minutes going down. Look at this part here. The average view duration changes really quick. Now, for instance, Dodge Charger power issue 1. I'm gonna pull this over here. We're gonna look at the analytics specifically for that one. Now, if we're gonna break this up in 2 ways. Let me do this. Okay, this is the video.
Morning, having the same issue. I had some weird electrical issues.
And this is this video right here.
Including,
we have a watch time of 18,937 minutes.
So
the average person's attention span,
driving-wise,
1 minute 26 seconds.
Clearly,
the average percentage view is under half.
She said it was almost.
So that means the quality of my video is distracting or not as good as what people want to see, because I didn't put that out there to entertain anybody. I was actually very miffed and upset that morning and trying to document an issue for a dealership. But my wife said, go ahead and put it up on YouTube and make it a
Let me show you exactly what happens.
So I did.
The battery
we'll go ahead and see where they drop. See how this analyzes?
Right here, both of them.
I'm going to pull this off where it goes back up. Some people see this and they think they got the answer. This is the first video, by the way, not the answer video, which is number 2.
As we can see, press the brake, start any button.
We're getting there. And
keys.
Boom. Okay, we're right here at the peak time. And if we go over here and look at this, that means there are some viewers that are watching this past 126. But dropping off as well. So we can go to this line right here and look. Organically speaking, we're at 49%. Average-wise, we're at 40%. So from this point on, the viewer starts to drop their attention to it. This is the absolute. Here's the relative. Give it a second to check. And this is basically going to be different. There's a wave here where people walk away and they come back to view over here. And this is still an organic line. So this is relativity. Now, organic meaning real time, right there, right now, that's what's happening. Relative is more of what some of the advertisers are looking at. Okay, they do consider organic viewing, but they are also looking at the relative audience. That's their projection, okay? Is it relative to them? Should they invest in your video? So there's more factors of saying, hey, this guy's got 1,000 viewers. Hey, this guy's got 4,000 hours of viewing time over the course of 12 months. Let's advertise. No, that is not what they're looking at. They're looking at relative audience retention, demographics, the viewing peak time, and as a whole, is your video channel, not just video, doing everything as a whole for us as advertisers? Let's put all of our eggs in a basket, and then we'll dwindle down and put our audience towards this video to watch our advertising. So that's why somebody might get an odd ad in their video, because their whole channel is doing the majority of relativity towards one product or one viewer or one demographic. So that's a big issue too. Okay, we're going to go back here and let me get rid of this here so we can use some other demographic information. Oh wait, actually let me do this here. See, so you cannot really change the average view. What you are looking for is how many views of watch time minutes are being utilized here. So I'm going to go to another important one here. Besides the car, there are more people interested on me modifying a transmitter for this drone here then there are people worried about their battery in that drone blowing up, which is more common. Okay, so let's really look at the importance factor of this. This is a fireproof bag where you should put your batteries for your RC toys at all times, because LiPo batteries from phones to laptops to drones are a big concern today. Samsung, by the way, is moving on to a new battery setup, which is just unbelievable, but we'll get back to that in another view. As a tech reviewer, I do kind of keep my eyes out there for new technologies. And lithium-ion battery extraction from this earth is a bad environmental issue. So people are throwing their batteries in garbages and whatnot. Not only are you killing and poisoning landfills with that kind of habit, but also a Toyota Prius is more environmentally damaging than, say, a Dodge Ram 1500 with an eco diesel, because of the battery that you've got to extract the lithium-ion battery. So say up in Canada, where they do a lot of extraction of lithium polymers, or at least the ingredients for lithium polymers, now you've got 500 square miles of farmland that can't be utilized anymore just because they had to pull one of the ingredients for lithium polymer batteries, and so forth and so forth. But a lot of people don't realize that. I drive a Prius. Well, great for you, bad for the environment to another point, but we're at a point that we can't be negative about that situation. There's growing pains when it comes to technology. So at some point in time, that technology will get better and better and better, and then substitutions will occur. You know, Model A Ford, for instance, was a high production rate car on the assembly line. He is known, Henry Ford, for creating the fastest manufacturing car ever, but there were a lot of bumps on the way to do that. Those cars actually created a lot of pollution compared to an electric car from 1989 that was created by hand. I digress. So let's go with some other analytics here so that we understand what we're getting into as small channels. Large channels don't care to this point. They do care, but they don't care for the fact is that they're getting ad revenue at a higher rate now because the advertisers are putting all their eggs in one basket. We'll get to watch time here. So while it's doing its little thing. Now this is for the last year. I'm still set at 365 days, not what just recently happened. We'll go back to the watch time. 185,000 minutes. Okay? And if you bring this up, estimated total minutes of viewing time of your content from your audience. Okay? From your audience, not in bed chin or anything like that, but that's what's being calculated by the meter and a projection from the meter going on for 365 days. Views, 84,422. Total views for the selected date range, region, and other filters. Okay, filters being in bedchin and whatnot, or you've got a streaming TV that cannot do the advertising to you because they promise it's streaming, so you go to YouTube and you don't see these ads, or something that to occur. To learn more, YouTube Red Watch time, okay, which is 3 days and 5 hours of YouTube Red watchers. Okay, now these are people that subscribe to YouTube Red and they believe they're not going to get ads. That's also very false. I was a Red watcher for a while and I still got ads, and they were just more focused towards what I like. So I was able to say that, oh, this ad does not pertain to me and whatnot. So instead of 3 ads during somebody's video, I was only getting 1. And that's another thing, guys. If you are still monetized, slow down on putting 5, 6, 10 advertisers. That's going to bite you in the ass later on, because that's something being discussed right now. Putting too many ads in, say, a 26-minute video, and you've got like 18 ads going on every time. Your retention value is going to shrink so quickly that your 26-minute video can only appeal to 1.5 minutes of viewers, and now you're separating yourself out of the advertiser's pool. YouTube Red views. Now here's the thing. My views of YouTube Red are almost exactly half of the watch time minutes. Another thing to look at. And we've got all the reports down here. So we can go playback locations. Now let's see the demographics of locations. YouTube watch page is my highest with 176,652 minutes. Out of that 300 and some odd views, 341,000 viewers, most of my minutes are coming off of, the majority of it, the percentage, is coming off of YouTube's watch page. So YouTube is still primarily the best place to be watching this. Embedded in external websites. So I busted for a while very fast to get my forums and all that videos. They watch it, it's embedded there, and then they're like, whatever. Or they click the YouTube symbol at the bottom and they go to YouTube, and now it's being counted up here. So if you have a web page, for instance, and your video is embedded there, is it better to embed it there or let it be watched on YouTube? You might have to advertise it on your web page, and that's where you think it's being watched. But then all of a sudden it's going to YouTube. So now your advertiser that might be tied to AdSense to that web page is not paying you through the web page advertiser as an affiliate anymore. It's going to YouTube instead. Another factor. YouTube channel page. Yeah. 50. 50 watch time minutes. Think about that. YouTube other. And let's go to that and see what that is. Certain browsers and players do not allow us to detect in detail where YouTube, the content has been viewed, and that might be on your phone. That might be, it's different from saying mobile, because mobile and your phone are two different things. Your phone per se is not a tablet, is not a phablet, is not an Apple Play device. It's not, you know, it might not be this or that. You can't tell out there without analyzing it fully. Another big difference. Now, let's go up to one to see this YouTube channel page. What's the difference between watch page and channel page? Somebody going right to your channel and watching it instead of being a suggested video could be the factor. Watch directly on a channel page. They go to your channel page and they see it. They subscribe to you. Okay? And they watch your channel specifically, and that's it. That's not the same as a YouTube watch page. Okay, this is like a suggested view page that when you open up your browser, you're there, you see a suggestion, you hit I like that video, and you're watching it right there. Again, affiliate issues when you're on your channel. Okay, so it changes the money. It does. The difference between 3 cents and 11 cents. Traffic sources. Let's go down to this. Okay, suggested videos. So we can go and break down all this stuff here, and I could do this all day long, okay, because I spent a good amount of time watching this. Now, when I say a good amount of time, let's say an 8-hour day you're making $12.50 an hour and $8.50 an hour as minimum wage or whatever, or $21 an hour as a technician somewhere. Or hell, I used to make $30 an hour as a project manager. Worked with project managers right beside me that were making $60 an hour and not doing anything. It almost feels like YouTube has become real life in the situation that it's not fast money anymore, because this is all changing from suggested videos to external videos to YouTube searching, tagging. That's another thing. If you tag the heck, so you get 500 characters slots to allow you to tag. Does a tagger that does 3 tags get better videos than somebody that has 18 tags on there? Possibly. Definitely. Per se, you go into Walmart and you want to look at drones. There are people that just search for Walmart drones. You could have one tag on there, Walmart drones, and say TubeBuddy tells you it's 0% nonsensical to put Walmart drones on there because you're only using one tag. Somebody puts 18 tags on there and says Walmart drones. Let's pick a drone that might be there. Sharper Image, per se. Or you go to Toys R Us, or you go to wherever, and there is a search video specifically. You're typing in there, search Walmart drones, Toys R Us drones, and you look specifically for that drone. Then all of a sudden you find you're on the 18th page, but it tells you that you're number 1 or number 5 or number 10. Here's the difference. If you put more tags in your video, you now slide yourself away from primary to secondary to the 20th person to the 100th person that might be suggested to that on your channel. So that's a big issue too. These are analytics that are going to be kind of boring to a lot of people and very confusing, but this is the difference between, say, my channel being 341,000 viewers and only having 385 subscribers to somebody having 341,000 views and having 1,800 or 2,000 subscribers. That's why YouTube Analytics went with that baseline. You've got 1,000 minimum subscribers just to start, 4,000 view hours. It's an average situation too, and that's going to take almost close to 200,000 minutes, somewhere around there. I'm not sure what the exact number is, but you can punch it in. Let's do that real quick. So 1 through 3 hours equals question mark, oops, sorry, equals question mark, how many minutes? You need 240,000 minutes of viewing time in the last 12 months to make the second tier. Now here comes the third tier situation, your average minutes. Now you're not going to find this on their partnership deal. This is where the advertisers stick you with the less money. So your average view might be 126, okay? But yet all your videos, and we're going to do this way, you have 20-minute videos, okay? 20-minute videos. So we're going to do 20-minute divided by 1.25. We'll say a quarter. Oops. Oh, what happened here? 1.25. Oh, let me do a calculator here. Okay, back to this. 26 minutes divided by 1.25. What is going on? Oh, my number's locked. That's Tech Review by Ernie. So we've got 25 minutes divided by 1.25. It's 20. That's a big difference right there. Okay, you're only getting 20% of your viewer retention on one video that might be 20 minutes. Like this video here, it's long, so I'm just trying to teach, you know, what the issue is, and I'm not getting an advertisement for it, so if you don't want to watch it, that's fine. But it's good information to know. So you're only retaining 20% of your retention capability for a video that might be 20 minutes or 25 minutes long or something like that. You are now in the bottom of the barrel of the advertisers' lists to put something out there. Okay, so you can have a great, entertaining video. You might retain about 20% of your viewing audience out of 100% of your subscribers, and now all of a sudden, you're only making 0.5 of 1 penny on your advertising videos, and you don't know why you're not getting any money. Well, I'm going to have another analytical talk a little later about the YouTubers because I do have to get my daughter off to pre-K here shortly. So we'll go ahead and go through that there. But there's other things to look at. Likes and dislikes. Okay? And you want this about as green as possible. You're always going to have haters out there doing something, or you're going to have somebody trying to manipulate your YouTube channel. That's another thing that happens. You're going to have subscribers on the analytics to look at. You're going to have, that's the interaction reports, comments. I don't get a lot of comments sometimes. I get more emails directed to me because my YouTube is tied into my Tech Review by Ernie business and my computer services. So I get to see more of that on that side. That's how I fail-safe myself, is getting a lot of comments on my, say, Facebook page that I do for my business, or directly to my email or my Gmail or my Google+. Google Plus is actually very relevant. a lot of people don't know this, but today's youth is not really jumping on the Facebook bandwagon, per se, as advertising. They're going out to other means like Twitter, Tumblr, all that stuff. But here's another thing. Remember, all the social media out there right now has been a psychological experiment for years, since Facebook and MySpace and all that. They actually are looking at analytics of dopamine draw, trying to get you to sway your opinion, negativity, stuff like that. Originally, Facebook was created as a small game on a campus by you-know-who. And if you ever watched that movie, they talk about how he did it out of despair and a little bit of vengeance with the college girls on campus of what kind of farm animal is going to be out there. Hey, do you remember the game? Yeah. Farm animal game? Yeah. Well, anyways, let's go back to what's important here. The revenue reports. So let's look at my revenue. 365 days. There you go. There you go. 1 year. My estimated revenue was over 200 as of yesterday. They took a big chunk out of it. $35, like that. Boom. One advertiser. Not one advertiser. One copyright infringement. Took $35 immediately out for a song. And I went and edited that video. And YouTube does have a very good system where it leaves the background noise. And I'm going to show you that video, actually. Okay? Let's go to Video Manager. I know where this video is because I had to deal with it over and over and over again. 5 is where I have my section. And I do use TubeBuddy. It's probably not the best out there. It used to be the best, but it does help me out, and I do understand it. Let's go down to, here it is, right here. Okay. My view time wasn't that great, as in views. So they ignored it. Listen. The beginning of Saw. It's going to cut off here. Slowly goes away, right? YouTube's editing capability. The whole song was in this. So you're dun, 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 right from the movie song. Okay? When that occurred, that's where they bought the copyright. So YouTube's editing feature for audio was pretty good about taking it away. It took a few hours before I got to see that video and it got accepted again. So if I go into editing, I'm able to go to audio. Hello. It's going to take a minute. It's still saying copyright. This is after 3 days now. Okay? And I even will show you right here that I had the song removed. Song removed. Please save to publish changes. I'm going to hit this again. I've been doing this every day for 3 days now, for 72 hours. They wanted to remove the song. Look, and it goes back to this. I will still see that after I saved it here. So there's a catch-22 going on with that. Look, editing and process. I have done this more than a dozen times over 3 days, and it still won't save it properly. This is so that the the copyright requester was able to take his money out of my AdSense payout. So you won't see it happen immediately. You won't fix it immediately. This will occur, and you're going to see a lot more to this, especially if you say you got Dr. Phil up there you got Dr. Phil for a video, and you cut out something, or you skewed it, or you slowed it up. They're going to catch that now, and they're going to pull money from you. That is one of the things that are going to occur here, because they're very wise to that. They've let it go because it was free for the show or something like that to get advertisers out there. But now, since they're not retaining their money for advertisers on the small channels, all that's going away, and they're going to start getting their bank from you as the creator. So that's another thing. So be it. Whatever. if you like doing videos and that's your primary thing, like myself, I have 161 videos on here. Some of it was caught for different things. There's my Air Force, blah, blah, blah. I was on, like, the Jack Reacher set, for instance. Tom Cruise. We won't get into that, but Tom Cruise's organization hit me up because I had a video of me and him on that set doing some stuff. And just having his presence on screen dinged me for copyright. Okay? So that was an issue I had to deal with. The Dark Knight set. That was another occurrence. I have videos that I was on different sets for different movies that aren't going to be, published. I just can't do it. Now, it's like, okay, now it's willy-nilly. I'm not getting any money for it, so I'm going to post you. So look out for those videos, too. Alright, guys, this has been a very long rant and vlog, but I did need to put this out there because I wanted to see what the difference was after a few tests. And here, let me get back to my channel. We'll go here, my channel. So, I bring you different things, and again, we're up here, 342,623 views. I do a lot of videos, and if you look right here, my video for this Tumblebee that I put out yesterday has been viewed many times, and now it's not showing any views. So that's another thing that dropped yesterday. I had 12 up here. Starting in 3 or 4 hours, every neighborhood kid that was in that video took a device on their phone and viewed the video. And after 24 hours, it said no. Do you know why? It was under my router here. They were all on Wi-Fi here, watching the video under my router. So the IP address came up as an internal IP address under my router, and the device got nixed. So I used to have different things like the TV, tablets, and all that, and they'd be watching videos, and that was another thing that changed. So if you're behind a subnet mask, like 255.255.2550, under your own subnet mask, under your leased IP address, that's going to get pulled too. So all those analytics are now fine-tuning down, and they're starting to get out of it. Has YouTube done anything against your freedom of speech? No, they have not. There's nothing different between that partnership deal before and after, except for all the way the analytics are going to work towards your video. So a lot of you are going to say, then why do it? Exactly. If that's what your purpose is, to go out there and make money off YouTube, you're not going to see the same thing as you did before. And that's why certain YouTubers out there, like Paul Logan and all that, got hit up real quick, because the quick lightning, I'm going to do Roblox all the time and make money off YouTube, that's going to dwindle away very quickly. And it's not just by what you see on the surface with numbers. It's going to be from advertisers getting very savvy with where their money and their mouth is. And YouTube is caught in the middle of this. But again, YouTube's doing what they primarily set out for, was to have a voice, put your voice out there, create. It's a creator's channel, guys. So if you're worried about making less money now, they're going to define your creation differently than they used to. Partnership and creation go hand in hand to a point, but it's still being separated. So that's basically that. Alright guys, well, I just want to say thanks for watching this vlog, and thanks for subscribing, thanks for liking my videos. I hope it helps you out. It looks like I gained a subscriber in the meantime. We'll see what that is. I got 387 now instead of 385. But otherwise than that, if you do like what I do, and you want to support me, just subscribe and support me and like it. That's it. Just watch it. Watch what I'm doing. And hopefully we'll have some kid-friendly stuff going on as well. Car season's coming up, and my passion, like I said, is cars. So it's kind of hard when I go to a car show and I want to show my stuff off, and I want to socially mingle with my car group and all that, and do the videos at the same time. So my format might be changing a little bit for the better. But otherwise than that, thanks for watching Tech Review by Erdy. Have a great day, and watch out for my next vlog, which is going to be part 2 a little later on. If not, you'll see some of my toys and stuff like that going on in my Cars and Go Fast. So have a great day. We'll see you later.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.